Look down where he lay, the little Lord Jesus asleep on the hay. Jesus went down his sweet hand, be near me, Lord Jesus. I ask thee to stay close by me forever and love me, I pray. Bless all God's children in the tender care and feed us for heaven. Oh Lord, I
Middle Georgia, help welcome to the WDDO Sunday lineup, the Mount Lebanon Missionary Baptist Church, Reverend Dr. Henderson Coswell, from 8 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. And Macon Call to Action with Mr. Alec Habersham, Sunday evenings at 5 p.m. until 5:30 p.m. Don't miss it right here on 107.9 FM and 980 a.m. WDDO.
Middle Georgia. Welcome to the WDDO weekly lineup. It's Regiment with Rhonda. Yes, it's Middle Georgia's very own Rhonda Bird. She's joining the Glory Express Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 10:15 a.m. That's Regiments with Rhonda. Come, get just a little bit. 10:15 on the Glory Express, 980 WDDO. Everybody, shout it out to the top of your lungs. If you missed open enrollment last year, you can still get affordable health insurance through Obamacare. The enrollment season is open again now through May 15th. Your local licensed agent, Dallas Anderson, is waiting to assist you and your family. Call her now at 478-235-2355. Don't put off for tomorrow what you can do today. Call your new agent, 478-235-2355. Her name is Dallas Anderson. Did you say high praise at high noon? Yes, it's On with Don, giving you a high praise every day at 12:15. Join us live on Facebook and on 107.9 and 980 AM WDDO. Don said, you don't necessarily need a reason, just an opportunity. Join the high praise at high noon Take your lunch with Don. Macon, you are doing it big. Don't miss the high praise at high noon where you're on with Don.
Hello, this is Bib Sheriff David Davis. Everyone has heard of signing bonuses to join big league sports teams. Well, I'm here to tell you that you can get a signing bonus to join our big league law enforcement team here at the Bibb County Sheriff's Office. You can earn up to $2,500 extra just for becoming a Bibb County Deputy Sheriff. For more information, call 478-621-5605. That's 478-621-5605.
At Bain Associates, we believe that community service is mandatory and not an option. I'm Joe Morris III, and I'm a personal injury attorney. If you need me, call me, 1-877-929-6250.
I give the praise, for you have done so much for me, and I will bless your holy name.
It is to you.
It is to you, Holy Father.
No one
Like you.
And I will bless.
And I will bless your name.
I will bless your name.
Your name. Bless your name
forevermore. It is to you I give the glory. It is to you I give the praise. For you have done so much for me, and I will bless your holy name.
It is to you,
Holy Father.
Holy Father.
No one
Like you.
And I will bless you, Lord.
I will bless your name.
Come on, say it again. And I will bless. Without reservation, I'll just give you the worship tonight.
Your name forevermore.
It is to you I give the glory. It is to you I give the praise. Lord, you have done so much for me, and I will bless your holy name.
It is to you, Holy Father.
No one like you.
No one like you.
And I will bless your name.
And I will bless
Thank you, Lord.
your
And I will bless you,
I
Jesus.
will bless your
God bless you, Jesus. Help you to.
name.
Come on, right where you are. Can you bless him tonight?
I will bless your
Yes, I will. Say it again. I will bless him. Yes, I will. I'll do it. You went to a country. I gotta worship you. I gotta thank you. I gotta praise you. I will bless your name.
Come on, put your hands together.
Connecting the community through gospel. The new 107.9 FM, W300EB, Macon, and WDDO 980 AM, Perry, Macon.
The views expressed on this program are not necessarily the views of the Glory 980 AM, the Glory Media Group, LLC, WDDO AM, its staff, management, or advertisers, but are the views and opinions of the participants of the broadcast.
It is now time for the live broadcast of the NAACP with Gwenette Westbrooks and Mr. Dumas.
Good evening and welcome once again to another segment of the NAACP Truth Show. I'm Willie Dumas, your host. Hope you're having a great day. Hope you had a great weekend. And we look forward to talking with you about our agenda for the upcoming year here with the NAACP. We do know that the holiday season is upon us. A lot going on. People out shopping. Not only are they shopping, but there are also some people taking advantage of shoppers. And so we've got to be careful in our celebration of our holiday season. Pretty soon we'll be saying Happy Kwanzaa to many of you and also Merry Christmas to others. And so we certainly hope that you will have a safe holiday week. The days are really kind of dwindling down as we're approaching the holiday season, so you want to be safe. A lot still happening in our community, even right here in Macon Bibb community as well as across the country. And so just a lot of things transpiring, people traveling more and trying to see their families and trying to get those flights and hoping that they won't have cancellations. As we've noted, with the past celebration of Thanksgiving, how a lot of flights were canceled, people, kind of stranded and those kind of things. And so we'll be mindful of those who are traveling, that you have your safe travels. Also, we do know that COVID-19 is still in effect. I was out and about this weekend. It seems like COVID had dissipated. You didn't see a whole lot of people wearing masks and doing those types of things, those precautions that CDC is still recommending. And so let us do our part by doing the things we can do to help curb the spread of not only COVID-19, the Delta virus, but also the Omicron virus as well. As it's been listed on the maps, some of the states that are now being affected by Omicron virus, it's spreading even into the state of Georgia. And so we have to be very conscious of that fact and knowing that potentially people who haven't been vaccinated, haven't gotten their vaccine rather, can very well be affected. And we also have noted through some of the medical advice that's been given that even some people who have taken their vaccinations yet can get those variants. And so it's a time of vigilance where, super spreaders events can take place. We've noticed that, with the holidays also comes a lot of celebrations, also comes with a lot of sporting events that we're attending and more likely causing more of the spread of these particular viruses. Also, we want to look at during the holidays, particularly crime. Crime yet continues to plague our community here in Macon Bibb as well as surrounding counties. It seems that perpetrators are targeting not only convenience stores, but also individuals. And so we've got to still be on the lookout for crime. There's always an uptick in crime, particularly around this time of the year, where people are doing their shopping. They're not as observant. And so you got to kind of pay attention to your surroundings. Those of you who are going to the shopping malls, Walmart, and those kinds of places, make sure that you either taking someone with you, paying attention and, not paying so much attention to your cell phone as you are to your surroundings, because that's going to be important as far as you not falling victim. A lot of things that have happened this year, and we'll be doing a recap on our show on next week of some of the things that the NAACP has been involved in throughout this year. And we hope that that our services that we've been giving through this radio station has been helpful to our listening audience, in that we try to bring information that's relevant that can make a change in a person's life and can also improve the quality of life by having information that wouldn't readily be available to them. On that particular note, I know we talked a lot about the housing issue in Middle Georgia. A lot of people being evicted. We've had several guests that have come on the show to talk about people who are being affected by eviction, what they can do legally, and what their legal rights are. I think on last week's show, we talked a little bit about not only people who rent apartments are subject to eviction, but also homeowners. When homeowners aren't able to pay their mortgages, then foreclosure can be instated upon them, and so they too can become homeless simply by not being able to pay their mortgage. And so a lot of those concerns we covered this past year. We also went back and took a look at the voting laws here in the state of Georgia and across the country, how many of our rights have been taken away through those laws. Firsthand results were given on some of the past elections here locally in Warner Robins when they voted for mayor, and also here in Macon, Middle Georgia, voting on the SPLOSH or the OLAS vote. And so a lot of changes that were taking place. We've tried to be on the forefront of getting that information out to you and to the community so that you would not be surprised by these changes, and that you could operate in such a way knowing what the changes are and what you had to do. The NAACP, we also have provided ID, the access for getting IDs made for a lot of people who probably wouldn't have access to getting those IDs. And so we've provided different areas that we've set up that people could come and actually get an ID, a photo ID. And so all those things were very important to the people. And we made certain that we got that information across so that people could make those adjustments to make sure that their votes continue to count. We'll be pretty much coming up on an election shortly as far as the senator's race for Warnock's seat. And so it's important that everybody have their political voting have that in order, so that when they go to cast their votes, it's less of a difficult process for them. And so we've tried to make certain that people were aware of when they could vote, when they could do absentee voting, where they could drop those voting ballots off to make sure those votes are counted. We do know that one of the changes that came about was the number of drop-off boxes where people could actually drop off their ballots. And when you really look at that and you think about it, why would they want to limit the number of places that people could drop off their ballots if they wanted the voting process to be more fair? And if you wanted to vote out, then of course you would want to make it convenient for people, but that has made it less convenient. There's only one or two places that people can actually drop their ballots off to. And so we want to make sure that people knew that. And we also found out that, people could not, they could not just do a provisional ballot, when they show up, if it had to be a certain time period in order to do that. And so all of these things have been very important as it related to our voting here in Middle Georgia. And we try to get that information across to all the people so that they would pretty much know what was taking place in regards to that. Also, this past year, the NAACP has looked after veterans, and that in the celebration of Veterans Day, we made certain that we provided lunches that veterans could come by and pick up a good hot meal. This year, we were at Little Rock Baptist Church, and we were set up there from about noon to 3, I believe it was 3 or 4 o'clock, that people could come by. And we were happy to see people come through. Happy to see our veterans. I'm a veteran myself, and so it's always good to know that organizations are thinking about our veterans and thinking about the sacrifices that we've made in service to support this country and to protect, to serve and protect this country called the United States of America. And so all veterans, I'm sure, were appreciative of the fact that we took out the time to think about them and to provide a lunch for them. And so we've been out here doing our part to make sure that happens. I see President Westbrooks is joining us. He's joining us by Skype.
Yes,
today.
I've been trying to get on. I haven't been able to get on, but I'm here now.
All right, great. Good to
Yeah.
see you. I've been just doing a recap of some of the services the NAACP has tried to provide this past year. And I was just kind of telling them about the veterans, that we provided lunches for them during Veterans Day. And so I think you guys were doing some things this weekend as it relates to coats and gloves and providing those items.
Yes, they had a giveaway at the Memorial Gym. We partnered with the Housing Authority and some other agencies, organizations. They all gave out different items. They went by the age, and so we did hats and gloves. Like we normally have a Christmas tree that we normally have, and they pick from there. But this year with COVID and everything, what we did was we had everything in Ziploc bags, the hats and gloves. So, kids wouldn't, pick all over and touching them. So we had everything in Ziploc bags, so they can pick and choose from what they want. But we had some nice hats and gloves that we gave out to each child that came to the center. I think they were looking for like 139 kids. So we purchased those, that many hats and gloves for the kids. They gave away bikes and different things like that, and they were going by the age. So most of those kids was like pre-chosen. A lot of the kids were from the Housing Authority, and I think they also got names from the Board of Education also. So
Wow.
Yes. So
And there are a lot of organizations that, along with our organization, that really look out for the community this time of the year.
yes.
I know Forrest B. Johnson always has a coat drive as well.
I think he's going to be, if I'm not mistaken, I think he's going to be doing something, providing I may have it wrong. I know it may have been Thanksgiving that he did it, because I think he did the dinner, Cracker Barrel this year.
Cracker Barrel.
Mm-hmm. So I don't know what he's doing for Christmas, but I did know that, he did that. So it's so many people, it's so many organizations and agencies that are there, that are helping the families. And so we did get because they had a age group that they were doing. And so we did have one parent to mention to me that her 1-year-old was not able to. So we're going to look at providing something for that 1-year-old. I took her information, and we're going to get back with her sometime today or tomorrow. And once I bring it, to the executive committee to this evening. And so it doesn't take much for a 1-year-old. So we'll be able to come up with something to help her with that 1-year-old.
Absolutely. And also, I just thought about the fact that Forrest B. Johnson is collecting toys. I think our church, Union Baptist Church, participated in that drive. Mm-hmm. And so where he'll be distributing those toys, I'm not sure. But they are collecting toys, I do know. As well as canned goods. So
yeah, so I got to call. I'll call Sharon to see, because we normally donate. The NAACP normally donate to that drive, that toy drive. So we'll do that, because he's real big on giving back to the kids. We're normally at this Christmas party, and in order, The only thing he asks is for you to bring a toy. So we're normally there for that. Yeah.
And I think now, with COVID and all these variants and the various things that are taking place,
Mhm.
a lot of the people are more in need probably this year and last year more than any other time, because a lot of people have been affected by this in a very adverse way, and
Yeah.
they're not able to get those extra hours of work that a
Well,
lot of people do this time of the year.
and
To
that's what we were saying, that that's what I was just speaking to someone else about, Mr. Dumas. The fact that um everything is increasing. Groceries, there's an
yes,
inflation on groceries, it's just out of the roof. It's just crazy. The cost of meat
yes,
itself. Um and then you have the landlords are going up on the rent.
right in the
And
middle
it's
of this.
you're talking about, you're looking at a rise of maybe anywhere from $100 to $200 more a month. So, but the money is not there. The
Right,
everything is increasing, but the money is not there, and that's what people don't understand. People keep saying that they have jobs, but they're not. The hours are not there. The jobs are there, but the hours are not there. So if you have someone that's um, working and they're making $19 an hour, but you're only getting them 20 hours, and they're having to travel to, uh, even like I said, even if it's uh, you got some of these places that are kind of far out. You burn
yeah,
a lot of gas going back and
just get
forth every day, and then and sometimes it's really not worth it if you're not only working 20 hours a week. You're spending a lot of your money back and forth with transportation. So the money is just not there for the inflation that's taking place. And I just really wish that somebody or a legislature or somebody would do something as far as, it's just like uh, price gouging. They're doing it with the housing now.
right.
If you got someone that's getting energy, that's applied for energy assistance for rent, for their rent, because they're not working out, then you go up on the rent. Then how are they supposed to pay? But this is one thing that we need to keep in mind, because this is something that I learned early on, that even though they're going up, they can't go up until that person's lease is up.
It's up.
You
Yeah,
can't just go up in the middle of their lease. And so people need to be aware of that, because landlords they'll try you if they think you don't know.
and I
Um,
think a lot of that is probably going on
yeah,
right.
it is. And so, but we're just so grateful that you know, even though we've had uh, the past year, almost going on 2 years, we've been dealing with COVID. A lot of people have lost their lives. We've seen a lot. We're just still grateful. Um, we're still able to help people, even though we're kind of restricted from a lot of things that we're able to do face to face. We're still able to help people. So we're grateful of that. I want to mention about our event that's coming up. I was, even though, around MLK Day, Mr. Dumas, they have so many different going on, and the
Right.
state and the national has, the Macon branch is always, we've always partnered with, and, with other agencies and doing MLK, but the national um, encourages and promote us to have an event an event by the NAACP. And we do it sometime, and sometimes we don't, but we need to start making a habit that we do, because we were a part of that movement. And
Absolutely.
and a lot of sometimes, we was just talking about that the other day. The NAACP does not um we're not invited to a lot of things, and we're not, why, we don't know, but we are part. People can't, they can't deny that we are part of the movement. A lot of things the reason why things are the way they are today was because of the NAACP.
Absolutely.
So we will be having an event. We will be celebrating Dr. King's birthday on the 17th of January from 1 to 3. It will be held at Evergreen Church of Macon, and the Macon B of NAACP will partner in having this event. It will be outside. We're just praying to God that the weather will permit us to have it outside, because we will be social distancing, and then we're asking people to bring masks. If you're outside, but we're hopeful that people are vaccinated. But we do want to hold it outside, so people will be able. So we won't be closed in, and so we will be social distancing even on the outside. We will have chairs there. Well, they'll be spread out at a distance. So we're looking for a great event. We're just hoping that our first vice president, you all know, is a DJ, so he'll be there as DJ Willie. He'll be there. So we're looking for, looking at having some music, some songs, and performances by our youth. And we're looking at having some refreshments, some foods, hot dogs, hamburgers, and chips, and different things like that. We even will have a setup for coffee and hot cocoa in case it's cold. Some people, and hopefully it won't be too cold. Hopefully it'll be nice. Sometimes even in January it's nice. It's not
right.
real cold. So we're hoping, we get the word out and get people there in the community there. So hopefully they'll, with it being outside and people hear it, and hopefully that people will come. But we're going to get the publicity on. But we just want you all to join us. It's going to be on January the 17th from 1 to 3 at Evergreen Church of Macon on Nisbet Drive, and I think it's 50. I had the flyer. I think it's 50.
So the actual address.
Yes, I'm gonna look it up. I can tell you right quick. It's
and it's good. It's good to partner with other organizations a lot of times, because that way the word spreads a lot easier and a lot quicker that way.
Yeah, you have both people getting the information out.
Right. And so we're very happy to be partnering with them. I'll also be doing some snippets of King's speeches,
Yeah.
also getting those out.
And so, and what we need to do, I thought about it, Mr. Dumas, because I have some of his, I think I have all of his speeches on a CD. So maybe, like I say, the next, when we come back into the office, we'll come back into the office, we'll come back on the show. We'll be able to, during basically the whole month of January, we can be able to play. And see, and what we're trying to do also with this, we're trying to do fundraising also as a part of this also, because what we normally do in April, we normally provide lunch for the sanitation workers, because, I don't know if people know their history, but when Dr. King was assassinated, he was there actually trying to get better pay and better working conditions for the sanitation workers when he was assassinated. So that's why in April, during the commemoration, we normally participate, and we normally provide lunch to the sanitation workers for the Bibb County. So we'll, any fundraisers that we do, we'll be using that money to provide lunch for the sanitation workers like we always do. We didn't do it last year because COVID was really bad last year, but it's kind of easing up. Even if we have to do it another way, we're going to figure out a way, to do it where everybody will be safe.
Absolutely. And we look forward to it. I also understand that Katina Cabanis has said that any way that she can help participate and make it
that would be wonderful.
She'd like to also. So we look forward to it. I think it's going to be an exciting time. That King celebration is always an exciting time for the NAACP, because we reflect on the work and all the service that Dr. King has contributed to not only the community but society in general. And so,
yes, and people sometimes forget that before he was a member of the NAACP. He was over the youth with the NAACP. So people always associate him with the Southern Christian
leadership conference.
Leadership conference, but he was first a member of the NAACP and was over the youth there. So
That's a great work.
Right. So we played a very big part. People don't realize how far back this goes. This is not something that the NAACP. We've been organized since 1909, so we've been working for a long time. And people, I just really wish people, kind of educate themselves on our history, because we have a lot of rich history here that's involved in the civil rights movement right here in Macon. So we're going to talk about some of that on our next show. Some of the things that the NAACP was, some of the civil rights movement and different things that was done right here in Macon. And you got people that are actually still living that, and we may have a couple of them come on the show really to talk about it.
Yeah, I think that would be great, because sometimes people kind of lose connection, and it's stay connected with the past, even though we're in the future, but you still have to connect with your past in order to appreciate the future.
Well, right. And so that's what me and Miss Cornelia were just talking about this week. We was talking about last week that we really need to try to partner with some organizations and sponsor. I just don't know about that right now with this COVID. I think it's a good idea. She was talking about us sponsoring a trip to the museum, and she was just talking about, she just really think that people will have, when they're probably going to be a different person, have a different
look
on life when they visit this, because it just covers so much. So I really think it's a good idea. We really need to start working on it and see, can we make it happen? Just got to figure out everything, the price and everything. But I really think it's a good idea. And just, I see a lot of times with a lot of things that's going on, I think if people really know, just like you just said, if they knew the history and the background of our culture and all of that, then they probably wouldn't be doing a lot of things that they're doing, because they would be able to appreciate where they're from. Yeah.
And have more proud, be more proud about it.
Proud, right.
And one of the things with visiting the museum, you got to take at least 2-3 days to get, see all the exhibits.
Yeah. So you got to have some chaperones.
Absolutely.
Yeah, chaperone and some hotel rooms.
That's right.
Yeah,
it's a wonderful place to be, and it really makes you feel some type of way when you go to those different exhibits.
Right. Because I've sponsored a few of those trips myself. When we went to the First Baptist in Savannah, I've sponsored a couple of those trips, and I even learned things myself. I just remember, when people, I used to do it in church. I would just raise my hand and they said, that was a way to get in their masters. The slaves were getting their master's permission to go to the restroom. So I stopped doing that when I found out why that's being done, why people do that.
Well,
we're out of time. We'll see you next week. Take care.
With Gwenette Westbrooks and Mr. Dumas. Come join us next Monday at 4:00 p.m. on 980 WDDO.
The views expressed on this program are not necessarily the views of the Glory 980 AM, the Glory Media Group, LLC, WDDO AM, its staff, management, or advertisers, but are the views and opinions of the participants of the broadcast.